It's GeForce Free Stuff Christmas Giveaway, a 6-hour Christmas Day special with bigger giveaways than ever. Christmas Day, only on G4.
Today on X-Play, it all comes down to this. It's time to award the Game of the Year during our 1-hour special X-Play Best of 2007 Awards. Who will it be? Halo 3, Super Mario Galaxy, BioShock, Mass Effect, Call of Duty 4, or Assassin's Creed? Plus, our awards for Most Original Game, Best RPG, Best Sound Design, Sports Game, Strategy Game, Best New Character, Animation, Action Adventure, Best Writing, and much, much more. Take a deep breath, fanboys, and prepare to belong. It all starts now. It's game time.
Hello and welcome to X-Play's Best of 2007 Awards Special, a celebration of the best games in one of the best years in gaming.
And the best of the year list ever. Now, some ground rules. To be considered as a nominee this year, the game had to be released this year.
Makes sense. Now, winners were chosen by consensus by the staff of X-Play. There was much less blood this year.
Except in the games.
Yes.
All right, let's kick things off with our first award. Here are the nominees for Most Original Game. Assassin's Creed. Making excellent use of a setting rarely explored by games, Ubisoft Montreal not only brought the Third Crusade to life, but did it with an original sci-fi twist. An innovative animation system and control scheme make Altair's premiere a memorable one. Portal. What appears to be a little bonus game in the orange box turns out to be one of the most refreshing games of the decade. A first-person puzzle game, Portal is like nothing you played before, with literal twists and turns throughout. Overlord.
Evilness truly suits you.
How do you make fantasy new again? Turn the whole epic quest cliche on its ear and make the player the bad guy, rebuilding his evil empire. This addictive action strategy game uses wit and solid design to stand out from the pack. Crackdown. A radically different sandbox game, real-time world superhero-esque cyber cop romp isn't afraid to turn up the action to ridiculous levels. A compelling character building system and an entire city to explore and destroy make Crackdown a contender. Zack and Wiki, Quest for Barbarossa's Treasure. Capcom recognizes the Wiimote's potential as a mouse substitute in this charming puzzler. Tricky and treacherous puzzles that test your waggle skills are the star of the show, with some great co-op features to boot.
The winner is Portal. Now, it almost goes without saying that there has never, ever been a game like Portal. Inventive, funny, and already a pop culture phenomenon. Portal is original in the best sense of the word.
I like cake.
Yeah.
So, this year, there is no longer a Best Graphics Award. Considering that all good games are technically impressive, what we care about is what is done with that technology.
And so it is with great pleasure that we recognize the first nominees in the category of art direction. BioShock. Submerging us in a surreal steampunk objectivist paradise gone horribly wrong. 2K Games uses cutting-edge graphics and audio to create the ruined Rapture City. Lavish attention to detail makes the BioShock world fascinating and believable. Assassin's Creed. Incredible recreations of 12th century Jerusalem, Damascus, and Accra are the stars of the show here. But it's the subtlety and presentation that make the game something special. Ubisoft Montreal uses lighting filters, architectural differences, and even costuming to make each place in the game feel unique. Super Mario Galaxy. In a time where realism with its accompanying browns and grays is king, Nintendo still has the guts and the know-how to make Mario's primary colored universe work beautifully. Mario Galaxy is a treat for the eyes, with constantly changing environments that make it almost as much fun to watch as it is to play. Mass Effect.
Commander Shepard.
BioWare has created a deep and intriguing universe for Shepard and crew to explore. Each location is recognizable and steeped in backstory, from the design of your ship's interior to the ancient Prothean-built citadel. Populating the fascinating galaxy is a menagerie of alien races whose diverse shapes and sizes bring the Mass Effect world to brilliant life. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4 offers an experience as intense and visceral as any action film. Depth of field, particle effects, lighting filters, and numerous other techniques are used to strike an unparalleled balance between realism and cinematic flair. And the winner is BioShock. From the decaying rooms of the city to the imposing Big Daddies to the wonderfully disturbing splicers, Rapture is a place we wouldn't want to visit but never wanted to leave.
This year saw a remarkable number of top-quality strategy games, which were some of the only games to play in the first half of the year. For that, you all are winners. Here are the nominees for Best Strategy Game. World in Conflict.
Are you actually in the regular army?
Gorgeous graphics, streamlined gameplay, and a fascinating alternate history scenario earned this title a place on our list.
Armor's ready to go.
Defend America from a brutal communist invasion from a Soviet Union that might have been. Company of Heroes, Opposing Fronts. This expansion to X-Play's pick for last year's Best Strategy Game continues Relic's tradition of excellence. You get upgraded visuals and 2 new sides to play, including the Germans. Tiger Tanks for the win.
All right, man, this is it.
Supreme Commander.
Space holds such hope for humanity.
The largest and perhaps most ambitious RTS ever attempted, this is about as close to a Total Annihilation sequel as you're gonna get. The scope of SUBCOM is unreal, with hundreds, sometimes thousands of units battling it out. Galactic Civilizations 2 Dark Avatar. Still keeping the turn-based space conquest genre alive almost single-handedly, GalCivs 2's expansion has enough new content and improvements to qualify as a full sequel. The fundamental gameplay is just as addicting and will continue to keep you up until dawn. Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars.
General Jack Granger will have you on board.
One of the old RTS greats makes a triumphant return as the Tiberium timeline is resurrected. CNC 3 tweaks things in just the right places and doesn't try to fix what isn't broken. And the winner is Supreme Commander. Its unprecedented scale, precise gameplay balance, and high-level challenge all combine to make one of the most ambitious strategy games in years. This armchair general's paradise offers amazing depth and massive battles in addition to imaginative unit design. Plus, more nuclear explosions per game than just about any other.
Our next list of games runs the gamut from familiar but redesigned tropes to one of the most charming songs ever made. Well, at least we think so. Here are the nominees for Best Original Soundtrack. Mass Effect. The epic orchestrations perfectly match the epic nature of the game, carrying the story to its massive denouement. Portal. The song at the conclusion is just that good. To play it is to give it away. Finish the game yourself. BioShock.
Now I look at life.
The use of hopeful-sounding period music against the backdrop of a decaying and corrupt metropolis create a mood that's hard to shake. Super Mario Galaxy. The reinvention of 2 decades worth of Mario music improves both the fidelity and invention. The best Mario soundtrack yet. Halo 3. Perhaps one of the most recognizable pieces of gaming music is given new passages that perfectly match the end-of-the-world grandeur of the game.
The winner is BioShock, a period piece that definitely gets the hairs on the back of the neck going with music that always plays against the mood to heighten the effect, and the best use of the Nutcracker suite ever.
All right, so Portal with 1 and BioShock with 2 awards, and we're just getting started. Can you read meaning into this, or is it just a red herring?
Well, there's only one way to get any answers. You have to keep watching. Winners are fun.
Coming up, the awards for Best Sports Game, Best Shooter, and later, Game of the Year on X-Play. Welcome back to X-Play's Best of 2007 Awards Special. Each year, dozens of games attempt to simulate the experience of being a professional athlete. Sometimes you end up with subpar experiences, such as every baseball video game made between 1999 and 2005. But sometimes you get greatness. Here are the nominees for Best Sports Game. MLB Power Pros.
There's the first pitch, and it's hit.
The best use of the MLB license is on the Wii, with a game that offers depth for some and entry-level fun for all others. NCAA Football 08. The best football game of the year.
Number 33, with the pick.
Continuing the solid presentation and gameplay this year, the new Campus Legend mode proves superior to Madden Superstar. Forza Motorsport 2. Perhaps the ultimate driving game, this gorgeous simulator is any gearhead's fantasy with just about everything customizable, but other modes make it friendly for the novice. Dirt. This rally racer is nothing short of gorgeous, and the nice balance between arcade and simulation makes it the best of the Colin McRae series. Winning 11 Pro Evolution Soccer 2007. Once again, this venerable franchise shows its chops with its unparalleled take on the most popular of sports. And the winner is Forza Motorsport 2. Near infinite customization options in a flourishing online community put Forza 2 over the top in this category. The ability to customize the balance between arcade and sim racer should become standard in all racing games.
Now more than ever, sound can make or break a gaming experience. Far from the bleeps and bloops of the old days, the multi-million-dollar productions of 2007 have audio work rivaling Hollywood blockbusters. The nominees for Best Sound Design are
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. No other military game puts you in the middle of the battlefield like this one. Expertly layered sound creates a believable, thick soundscape. Best of all, a large amount of gameplay information is conveyed through your squad's radio chatter. Assassin's Creed. From the shouts of merchants to the clang of blades in the streets, the Third Crusade is brought to oral life. The strange sounds of the Anima's virtual reality system intrude on the ancient ambiance just enough to remind you of the true nature of your surroundings. Halo 3. The third game in Master Chief's saga uses every audio trick in the book to finish its fight. The clatter of assault rifles and zap of plasma fire put you firmly in the war to save life in the galaxy. BioShock. Creating sound for a city that is meant to be creepy and offsetting, yet believable as a former freethinker's paradise is no easy task. The Splicer's babble will make you laugh.
Looks like he just had his cherry popped.
The Big Daddy's footsteps will make you run. Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. As the title says, this game is all about destruction, and boy does it sound good. Couple that with the clever sounds given to creatures and the luscious tones of absorbing bolts, and you have oral exceptionalism.
Stand by for immediate disintegration.
And the winner is Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. Infinity Ward never fails to deliver an audio experience that shakes the room. The shock and awe of modern weaponry is captured perfectly.
2007 was a banner year for shooters. If you like pointing crosshairs at something and pulling a trigger, it was a festival out there.
A shocking number of them turned out to be top-notch games. Here are the nominees for Best Shooter.
BioShock. One of the most unique approaches to a shooter in a long time, BioShock focuses less on giving you lots of enemies in favor of a few very challenging ones. The resulting strategy of balancing the powerful plasmids with the weaponry keeps the action fresh right up to the end. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. A feat that is nothing short of revolutionary, Call of Duty 4's blending of realistic graphics, sound, and sophisticated AI placed the player in the middle of combat like nothing before it. Half-Life 2, Episode 2.
We've had enough surprises for one day.
Continuing the well-established conventions of the series, Episode 2 opens up the combat with larger areas and set pieces that never stop coming and are never seen before they happen. Halo 3. An exceptional end to the game that reinvented the console shooter. The controls remain utterly sublime, but now the number of enemies and their wicked AI lead to some of the most dramatic moments ever in a shooter. Team Fortress 2.
I'm talking to you, Bob.
The multiplayer shooter with what so many others lack, character. An absurdly fun, fast-paced, and well-balanced game that offers a welcome twist on the familiar.
And the winner is Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. No other game this year delivered better, pure shooting action.
Online or off, Call of Duty 4 stands out even in a year full of standouts.
And with that, BioShock and Call of Duty 4 are tied with 2 wins each. It's still anybody's game with the Game of the Year award still to come.
Those of you who had money riding on the sweep, well, sorry, we're not that predictable. Well, not today. Coming up, awards for Best Gameplay Innovation, Best Role-Playing Game, and later, the Game of the Year on X-Play.
Welcome back to X-Play's Best of 2007 Awards Special.
In their constant search for surefire million sellers, sometimes game companies can forget to come up with new ideas rather than recycle the old ones.
So, to recognize those brave few who aren't afraid to be different, here are the nominees for Best Gameplay Innovation.
Assassin's Creed. The free running and climbing in the game may have been hinted at in other titles, but here it actually accomplishes just that, and it does so perfectly. Mass Effect.
I'll go to her after I've had a cold shower or two.
The conversation system in the game is based more on tone than content.
You think I'm gonna let you walk out?
Letting the digital actors absorb you in the story rather than just repeat a line of text.
But next time you're on Earth, I'd love to buy you a drink. Thanks again.
Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. The leveling up system and its attendant perks work magic to motivate players to play well as a team.
On my mark, go.
And keep this online multiplayer some of the most intense available. Halo 3. The ability to modify maps in real time, coupled with the ability to record your own accomplishments, expands the title from just game to a remarkable toolbox of creativity. Crackdown. Cooperative multiplayer feels a lot different in the free-roaming universe of Crackdown. Drop in to help out for a bit or stay around to accomplish the most ridiculous achievements. In the end, it's awesome.
And the winner is Assassin's Creed. Altair's smoothly blended animation and easy-to-handle free-running abilities are expertly implemented.
Are you talking about Altair or a new brand of scotch? Well, sometimes it pays to reinvent the wheel, and the new techniques Ubisoft Montreal used paid off even better than we expected.
Now, the next category is traditionally one of the most hotly debated among the staff. It encompasses several game types and is invariably one of the toughest winners to decide on every year. Here are the nominees for Best Action Adventure Game. Assassin's Creed.
What do you need me to do?
This stunning recreation of the 12th century Middle East is as much about exploring and taking in the environments as using them in every way to achieve the dark purpose of your lethal missions. Crackdown. Non-stop action that proves deeply satisfying is made all the more difficult to put down with so much to explore on every axis and leveling up with powers you can really appreciate. God of War 2. Arguably an improvement over the first with slicker pacing and even tighter controls, God of War 2 feels like an amplified version of one of the most bombastic gaming series ever. Ratchet & Clank Future, Tools of Destruction. This is the Ratchet game where the screwy universe you've seen in other installments come fully alive. Gorgeous levels that just entice you to explore every nook and cranny, perfectly complement the most fine-tuned combat around. Super Mario Galaxy. The welcome return to traditional platforming in the series is made all the more exciting, with pitch-perfect controls and variety in levels that keep the player surprised up until the very end. And the winner is Super Mario Galaxy. While every nominee was a top-level title, only Mario Galaxy served up the goods with such polish, variety, and pure joy. This unquestionably is a game that everyone can love.
Usually the next category is dominated by Japanese games, but this year saw a record number of great RPGs from Western developers. Here are the nominees for Best Role-Playing Game.
Final Fantasy VI Advance. One of the best Final Fantasies ever is also one of the last great Game Boy Advance games. Adding new dungeons and characters is just extra topping on this confection. The Witcher. A very adult take on the fantasy action role-playing game. It's got great story, stunning customization options, and a new take on combat that brings much-needed life to the genre. Neverwinter Nights 2: Mask of the Betrayer. An expansion to Neverwinter Nights 2 that truly expands with new gameplay elements, large-scale battles, and a story that beats the original.
Yes, mistress.
Titan Quest: Immortal Throne. Both an expansion and an upgrade, Immortal Throne offers one big new challenging realm and new gameplay elements to keep this action RPG still tough to stop playing. Mass Effect.
If they won't stop Saren, I will.
A stunning reinvention of BioWare's classic format, which incorporates a cinematic storyline that actually lives up to its promise.
I don't leave jobs half done.
And the winner is Mass Effect. The role-playing gurus at BioWare gave us a tremendous galaxy to explore and the freedom to do it our way. Not just long, but worth playing again and again, Mass Effect will be monopolizing our time well into 2008.
You know, I have my next 3 Mass Effect characters already planned out. Over the holidays, I'm going to play a female soldier with biotic lift who doesn't take crap from anyone.
Ah, Space Marine Christmas.
On the 24th, we gather around the fire and sing carols in honor of St. Paxton. Coming up, the awards for Best New Character, Best Downloadable Content, and soon, the Game of the Year on X-Play. Welcome back to X-Play's Best of 2007 Awards Special.
Now we come to one of our new categories, recognizing excellence in animation design and technique.
These games exemplify the art of bringing complex interactive characters to life. Here are the nominees for Best Animation. Assassin's Creed. Altair's movements may be the most believable and fluid of any game character yet. With over 1,000 different actions blending together seamlessly as he navigates the rooftops, you really believe you're controlling a little virtual man inside the TV set. Ratchet & Clank Future, Tools of Destruction.
Ratchet? Clank?
Sometimes it seems like the guys at Insomniac are the only people in the game industry who have ever seen a Chuck Jones cartoon. The power of the PlayStation 3 has removed all constraints from the Ratchet character animation, with incredible facial expressions and body language throughout the game. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. A blend of motion capture and animation brings the warriors of the present day to life. By using animation to restrict their reactions to the physics engine, Infinity Ward wisely avoids the comic moments that often creep into modern first-person shooters.
I guess I owe you one.
Heavenly Sword. Utilizing bleeding-edge facial motion capture, cutscenes in this game can be like watching real people strut and fret their way across the stage.
I could see it in your eyes.
While the combat animation is certainly top-notch, it's the amazing emotion displayed in the characters' faces that repeatedly impressed us. Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Far from being a simple Tomb Raider imitator, Nate Drake and the rest of the Uncharted cast are brought to life with fluid, naturalistic animation. Whether leaping from ledge to ledge or reacting to an intense gun battle, Drake's thoughts and emotions are recognizable through the care and attention put into his body language and facial expressions. And the winner is Ratchet & Clank Future, Tools of Destruction. In an era when so many developers are obsessed with photorealism, Insomniac Games aren't afraid to deliver comedy, whimsy, and expressiveness in the tradition of classic cell animation.
Now, even in the early days of gaming, the importance of having a great character to hook players was self-evident. One of the great challenges of any game developer is creating characters who can hang with lasting icons like Mario and Pac-Man. The nominees for Best New Character are...
Weighted Companion Cube. Only Portal could make a silent, expressionless cube one of the best characters of the year. Despite its brief appearance, the WCC is universally recognized and loved.
The Weighted Companion Cube will never threaten to stab you.
Saren. A true epic villain you could love to hate, and Mass Effect delivers with this rogue Turian Spectre. The nature of his grand scheme is the key to the events in the game, but they're not at all what you think.
Leave no evidence that we were here.
Andrew Ryan.
I am Andrew Ryan.
The creator of the ostensible objectivist paradise of Rapture made BioShock one of the most memorable stories told in gaming. His menace, conviction, and ultimate fate are the cornerstone of the game's narrative, and some of the most haunting set-piece moments ever put to polygons. GLaDOS. A rogue AI with a vicious streak and a cruelly dark sense of humor, GLaDOS defines and elevates the Portal experience.
Unbelievable.
The vocoded monotony of her voice is a constant presence that entertains and enrages, propelling the player along deeper into the world of Aperture Science.
Then there will be hate.
King Bohan.
Come, child. Let me take your burden.
The most impressive use of Sony's new facial motion capture technology, Heavenly Sword's villain is brought to delicious life by veteran CG performer Andy Serkis. For once, a crazed, power-mad despot exhibits charisma.
Shut up!
The winner is GLaDOS. GLaDOS isn't just a great character in Portal, she is Portal. Almost every line out of her speaker is quote-worthy and will certainly be quoted by gamers for years to come.
New to this generation of consoles is widespread downloadable content, like magic gaming goodness. It can materialize in your home with the push of a button and the entry of a credit card. Here's a look at the best of what has cropped up out of the digital ether this year. Here are the nominees for Best Downloadable Content. The Elder Scrolls IV: Shivering Isles. This expansion adds a stunning amount of content to an already sprawling RPG.
Please, make yourself comfortable.
The vast Plain of Madness is like nothing seen in Oblivion, full of new things to do and unforgettable characters.
Amazing.
Pac-Man Championship Edition. How do you make a classic viable as a new product? Completely reinvent it, adding breakneck speed, variable mazes, trippy visuals, and a thumping soundtrack. This version of Pac-Man feels utterly fresh. Not bad for a 25-year-old game. Super Stardust HD. An original and gorgeous take on the old Asteroids concept. This is one of the best buys on the PlayStation Network to date. Addictive one more level gameplay, strategy in the form of weapon types, and just plain good design make it a contender. Carcassonne. The classic board game has been converted to digital form flawlessly. The strategy is hard to master. The multiplayer will keep you up through the wee hours, and when you're done, no pieces to put away. Crackdown. An abundance of downloadable goodies extended Crackdown's playtime, from brutal additions to your arsenal to a do-what-you-want sandbox mode. Along with new game modes and multiplayer challenges, the free-for-all and getting busy content packs were textbook examples of how to inject new life into an action game. And the winner is Pac-Man Championship Edition. It's not often that a revamp of a classic game really comes together well, but this one may actually be better than the game it's based on. Who would have thought that a 25-year-old arcade game could get our adrenaline flowing again with a few clever changes? It's a testament to the genius of the original Pac-Man and the thought that went in updating it for 2007.
It really is a great game, and one that probably wouldn't have made it to market without the internet. Not a lot of shelf space for arcade remakes these days with all the big budget games hogging up the charts.
Speaking of which, the heavy hitters still have yet to slug it out later in the show. So don't go anywhere. Remember, the more awards your favorite game wins, the better and more attractive a person you are. Coming up, you've been waiting for it. We will award the best game of the year for 2007 on X-Play.
Welcome back to X-Play's Best of 2007 Awards Special.
Now we present the award for a category that, until recently, was more of a gag gift than an accolade.
As the production values of games have risen and the WGA strike has dragged on, the writing in video games has improved dramatically. Here are the nominees for Best Writing.
BioShock. A mature story on many levels.
They told me, son, you're special.
It takes an invented world in an actual time period and adds in a dark philosophy to create a narrative that unnervingly reveals itself to amazing effect. Thank you. Ratchet & Clank Future: Tools of Destruction.
11 years ago.
While the series has always been known for the humorous writing that is still evident,
Got a bit of a situation here at the Planetary Defense Center.
more attention has been paid to the main character's relationship to create a story that's actually touching.
May you die a glorious hero's death.
What?
The Simpsons game. Taking the glorious satirical teeth of the television show and applying it intelligently to the video game industry.
Let's get out of here and find a situation where my new superpowers could be useful.
I think Lenny needs help moving.
Make this title an unending source of laughter.
Get out the Crayolas and color me tickled pink.
Mass Effect.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars.
Any other game labeled space opera.
What do you want?
I'm here on Shayira's behalf. Your lies are hurting her.
Pales in comparison to this expertly written epic that sinks you into its tale from the moment it begins.
Wait! Don't kill me, I surrender!
Portal. Hands down, one of the funniest games ever written.
The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
The irreverent spirit of the writing elevates this game well beyond its already innovative gameplay.
Serious injuries may occur.
The winner is BioShock, a fascinating story with complex themes and evolving characters. It hooks you and never lets you go. Andrew Ryan and his doomed utopia make for riveting material. Plus, all the Ayn Rand references might be the only reason anyone would ever be glad that they read Atlas Shrugged.
I don't know if I'm still glad I read that, but anyway, BioShock did make it a little better in retrospect. Now, BioShock is a great single-player experience, but for many, gaming is a social activity, whether playing with thousands in an online world or hanging out with your friends and a few plastic musical instruments. Other people are often what keeps us playing long after the solo campaign is done. Here are the nominees for Best Multiplayer Game. World of Warcraft: The Burning Crusade. The most popular MMO on the planet got a little bit better this year with this excellent expansion. New areas, a higher level cap, and brand new loot to lust after makes that monthly fee seem an even better value. Team Fortress 2. After a decade of delays, Valve delivers an almost perfectly balanced team shooter in the orange box. With classes and maps literally years in the making, along with a unique look, Team Fortress 2 is a worthy successor to the original. Call of Duty 4: Modern Warfare. As if gorgeous visuals and fast-paced action weren't enough, Infinity Ward has created a compelling and sleep-destroying level-up system in COD 4. Every action has a reward. Every reward expands the gameplay, and it keeps you playing until you drop. Halo 3.
Your end has come.
The excellent online play of the second game is overhauled and improved with new vehicles, new maps, and the brilliant replay feature. With easy integration between Xbox Live and the web, Halo 3 creates a community like no other.
Fight is over.
Rock Band. A tremendously ambitious game from the original creators of Guitar Hero, this title takes music gaming to a whole new level. With guitar, drum, and vocal parts to play, Rock Band is the ultimate party game for just about anyone. And the winner is Rock Band. Out of all the games nominated, Rock Band is the one that brings people together in one room to share in the fun. Variety is key here. Even if someone can't figure out the fret buttons on the guitar, they can grab the microphone and belt out a few tunes. And unlike online play, if someone's being a tool, you can just hit them in the mouth.
My favorite part.
I know.
Yeah. And now it's time for the biggest award of the night.
This one's for all the marbles.
The Grande Enchilada.
The ultimate battle.
The mother of all game awards.
The final countdown.
I think that's probably enough.
Good, because I'm out.
Okay. Well, there were so many great games in 2007 that paring down this list to only 6 nominees was an arduous and heartbreaking task.
Seriously, almost every game nominated for any award tonight could arguably deserve a place on a Game of the Year list. But it's our job to make the tough decisions and hand out the accolades to only the best of the best of the best.
So here are the nominees for XPlay's Game of the Year 2007.
Assassin's Creed. One of the most evocative games ever. This fully realized trip back to the Crusades provides gamers with a new type of stealth game, and one of the most unique games this year. BioShock. A shooter like no other. This underwater horror period piece creates one of the most beautifully compelling action games written for a thinking audience. Call of Duty 4: Modern Warfare.
This is gonna be one hell of a highlight reel.
A powerhouse of action and technology, this stunning simulation refines its gameplay to perfection both on and offline. Halo 3. A monumental end to one of the most significant modern gaming franchises. Honed to perfection and filled with goodies, it shines above its predecessors. Mass Effect. The ultimate nouveau RPG. This sprawling tale and universe put the player in the middle of one of the best stories in any game.
Did the captain let you in on his big secret?
And gives them unprecedented freedom to play. Super Mario Galaxy. Platforming perfection with a grand return to style in a game that refuses to stop inventing and never falls flat.
And the winner is BioShock. No other game in 2007 created such a rich and involving world or delivered equally visceral gameplay.
BioShock is full of moments that stick in your mind. The arrival at Rapture, the first Big Daddy fight, the Sander Cohen sequence, meeting Andrew Ryan in person. It's set piece after set piece.
Well, here to accept BioShock's numerous awards via satellite is lead designer Ken Levine. Hey, Ken, congratulations on this.
Thanks, Adam.
I was just curious. When you first started working on this game, did you ever anticipate the amount of critical and commercial success for it?
Well, we've been really lucky with the critics for a long time, and we really appreciate that. And with BioShock, one of our goals was to be as successful with the public. So I think we're really gratified by the critical success. But at the end of the day, the consumer is the biggest and most important critic, and so it's to get both is really the grand slam for us.
Now, does it give you any type of satisfaction that when you're going around trying to sell this objectivist period shooter that those people said no, and now suddenly you're singing one of the best games of the year?
Well, I think one of the things that BioShock represents, I think we get so much criticism as an industry that we're like a bunch of brain-dead mouth breathers, and gamers aren't intelligent, and they just like killing things. They don't care about anything else. I think one of the great things that BioShock says is that, hey, gamers are interested in thinking. Gamers are interested in topics other than blowing people up. And, I think one of the great things about BioShock and one of the great things about gaming is you get to have your cake and eat it too. You get to have the monsters, and you get to have a little thinking to go along with it.
Now, I'm curious, of the entire game, is there a certain part that really stands out for you as your proudest moment inside of it?
I think the moment for me that was one of the hardest to do, and I think one of the moments that works the best is when you're first introduced to the concept of the little sisters and how you're gonna, and the decisions you're gonna have to make with them. And Tenenbaum's talking in one ear and Atlas is talking in the other ear, and that was a really hard scene to get right. And the team with Sean Robertson and the animators, they worked really hard, and that scene really pulled together.
Well, you know what, Ken? Once again, you so deserve this award. We love the game. I can't wait to play it again. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks for everything, Adam. Thanks for all the support.
As great as 2007 was, next year X-Play levels up starting January 14th. We will expand well beyond our brutally honest reviews to include breaking news and reactions in the gaming industry, one-on-one interviews with the biggest and brightest, as well as hands-on demos with every game you will be talking about. That's only the beginning of your essential 5-day-a-week source for the most trusted views on gaming. The all-new X-Play starts January 14th.
See, these are very exciting times, so don't miss it, just like you didn't miss this episode of X-Play. And once again, thank you to all the game developers out there. Good night.
G4 is like being visited by a badass video game goddess who is way into tight circuit-laced apparel and digging up funny, obscure videos. Plus, she's all over the latest blogs, games, and high-tech gadgetry. This energy-clad goddess/sensei of digital goodness is plugged into what's going on. And therefore, my man, so are you. G4 is like that, basically.